So, yeah, next time we'll find out what Claude's on about, but I do think... Yeah, I definitely... I feel like on the Black Eagles route, Dimitri never snaps out of his crazy revenge spree, and you definitely see a worse side of him. And there are other people who... I know there are a lot of people who are saying, oh yeah, you know, Edelgard just looks the worst on the Blue Lions route, but still, I'm with Dimitri here. I just feel like there has to have been a better way to revolutionize the world than just starting a huge war that would result in so much death and collateral damage. It's like, is that really worth it? Like, is that really worth reforming society when there will just be, like, no one left to share it with you? And even then, the people who do that whole, oh, I'm gonna cause mass slaughter for the greater good thing, usually their idea of a ideal world is not the same as most people's. Anyway, like, Edelgard did seem a bit hesitant back at the Battle of the Eagle and Lion, so I am wondering if she does have a redemption arc similar to Dimitri on her route, but part of me feels like, no, her route's just going to be purely black and white and is going to treat her actions as entirely justified. And if that's the case, I really don't think I'd enjoy it, but yeah, I'm sorry, but that's just the thing with grey and grey morality games. They kind of bring out your own personal morality system, and anyway, that thing Dimitri said where he wants to win the war with acceptance and not annihilation, that's definitely what I believe. But anyway, okay, so welcome back to more of Fire Emblem Three Houses. Last time, we retook the capital and finally put an end to the ambitions of Cornelia, the Mad Waifu. And now, we continue when apparently Claude sent us a letter, and I'm really hoping something horrible hasn't happened.
Part 2. Azure Moon. Garland Moon. The Golden Deer's Plea.
Okay, hopefully we're helping them.
The Kingdom Army has reclaimed the Kingdom capital and plans to immediately begin restoring the country and its forces. But an unexpected request arrives from Claude, leader of the Leicester Alliance. Dimitri promptly responds to the request for aid, and he rushes to prepare the Kingdom's forces.
Okay, so hopefully we're helping him.
We have received a request for aid from the Alliance. They are being invaded by the Empire.
That's what I thought was happening right now.
We have only just taken back Faerghus, and yet I am already asking all of you to move out once more. Please accept my apologies for that.
That's no problem at all. More importantly, how is the Alliance faring?
Well, I recruited Hilda, and she's like 90% of their military strength, so probably not well.
House Regan has rallied the Alliance lords. They are facing the enemy with all the strength they can muster. But we do not know how far that will get them. It seems the enemy's relentless attacks have forced them into a tough situation. Their defeat at Gronder severely weakened the Alliance. I imagine the Empire now intends to destroy them before they can recover.
Really? I just went and hit Claude with like one attack and killed one sniper, and apparently that crippled them. Gameplay and story segregation, I guess.
To think they'd watch us chase their soldiers out of the Kingdom capital, then immediately go invade the Alliance. Their general is Lord Volkard von Arundel. He serves as regent to the Emperor.
Yeah, I know who that is.
He has presumably taken command after the Emperor was wounded in Gronder.
Yeah, wounded. She took a combat art from Dimitri in the face, I'm pretty sure.
He is known for his shrewdness and excels not only in domestic affairs, but tactics as well. He is not an opponent we should take lightly.
I feel like Arundel is a little bit involved in like the game's backstory though, more than you would think, because Dimitri was researching him earlier, and now I'm starting to wonder whether he's Thales.
Lord Arundel. I always suspected that Lord Arundel was behind the tragedy 9 years ago.
Oh, okay, that's probably why you were researching him in the library.
The timing of his departure from the kingdom, the fact that he abruptly stopped making donations. Too many factors made him suspect. If Lord Arundel conspired with Cornelia, then what Kronya and the others said 5 years ago? Well, never mind that for now. The Alliance needs our help. What are your thoughts?
If we turn our back on the Alliance and then Deirdre falls, It will undoubtedly make our situation difficult further down the road. We would have enemies in two directions. In the Alliance to the northeast, and in the Empire to the south.
That is true. In that scenario, we would not be able to safely march our soldiers to Enbar.
I am terribly worried about Lady Rhea, but I believe we must save the Alliance.
Why is
first.
everyone so worried about Lady Rhea? She's a giant dragon.
Oh, maybe if we do this, the Alliance will help us out in return. We could ask them to help us attack the Empire. You know, a sneak attack or something.
Maybe Claude could put his poison mutton plan to use again.
Annie, when did you become so devious?
What would your mother think?
What? It wasn't that devious.
What do you think, Professor?
Yes, I agree. I will admit that there is something to be gained for us as well, for when we eventually march south. But far more importantly, they need us. We cannot turn our backs on them. We will arrange to head out at once. Prepare yourselves, everyone.
And after all, Claude needs to be at Byleth and Hilda's wedding. That is my headcanon. Hopefully he doesn't get a plot death, though. And I'm kind of suspecting he might. Oh, Sylvain's birthday. Is he at A? Yeah, he's at A. Okay, then. What would he like out of these? Lavender?
Hey, sorry for the wait, Professor.
I'm guessing that he probably likes whatever kind of tea girls like.
Thank you so much.
And thankfully this isn't female Byleth, or this would get really awkward.
Wow.
Oh, that obviously wasn't his favorite tea.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything. That sounds like he's gonna die soon. Ah. Yeah, I thought he'd like that.
Yeah.
Probably this. Yep. Gossip about romance. Oh, only a nice tea time.
Thank you for the treat, Professor. I'd like to do this again sometime.
At least it wasn't a giant fail on his birthday. I think the only one in this playthrough that's happened to is Cyril. So, there's a paralog this month, so we're not going to be rushing to the aid of the Alliance just yet. Oh no! Okay, so, good news, people have warned me about this paralog. Bad news, I haven't seen the game download any patches since I've started, and that means this paralog is probably, as of my recording this, still bugged. So, this is apparently, yes, that's Dimitri's paralog. The Silver Maiden. So, apparently, if you save on the preparation screen, and then try and load from there, the game will basically die. So, yeah, I had a feeling we were getting that paralog soon, but yep, that's a little bit scary. So I will make sure that I save on the Monastery screen before I go there, not the preparation screen. And rescue Deirdre, however you pronounce that. Has anyone got any new supports? Oh, quite a few actually. Dimitri and... yes! Oh, that's an A. I'm gonna have to save and reload for that one. Oh, Ash and Gilbert. I guess that makes sense. They're both, like, knights. Alois and Mercedes B. Oh, right, that's the Ghost Story one. I guess I can do this one.
The time has come. I have been waiting to curse your soul with this tale of ghostly terror.
It's time for Mercedes's Believe It or Don't.
You have? Well, excellent. I won't run or hide.
Somebody cast Banshee on him so he can't do either of those things.
Then we shall proceed. Our story begins when a friend of mine visited a graveyard in eastern Faerghus.
Oh, wait.
Whatever is the matter, Alois? I've barely just begun.
You got to the graveyard part so quickly. No warning at all. I wasn't ready. Ugh, listen to me. What kind of knight am I? Continue, Mercedes. I won't make another peep.
Well, the good news is you're not in Valentia or Magvel, so you won't be having to fight zombies and skeletons in this game. at least. We haven't seen any zombies or skeletons yet.
Very well then. Now where was I? Ah, yes. My friend went to visit his grandfather's grave, staying the night at a neighboring church.
Her voice actress must have had fun with this.
As darkness crept, he awoke to a strange sound. He peered out into the black of night to see a misshapen figure desecrating the graves. He barricaded himself in his room, waiting for the first glimmer of sunlight before fleeing the church. My friend soon learned that the graveyard was built on the ruins of an ancient battlefield. Legend says that the souls of knights who fell during the battle roam freely after dark. He was sure that the misshapen figure he saw was the ghost of a warrior searching for its earthly remains.
Alternatively, it was just Dampe the Gravekeeper.
After his stay at the church, my friend complained of restless nights and an unbearable weight on his chest. His closest friends and family feared a change in his eyes, as though it wasn't him occupying his body. No one knows for certain what happened that night. After years of isolation, his body was found in the very graveyard where it all began.
And then everyone turned around, and behind them was a horde of faceless men!
Eloise? Did you hear me? I said, in the very graveyard where it all began.
What happened? Is it over? I blacked out after the part with the misshapen figure. Oh, I'm so pathetic. I'm a knight. I have to be ready to fight anywhere, even in a spooky graveyard.
I don't think many battles take place in graveyards in the middle of the night.
Well, I know that one battle in Echoes takes place in a graveyard.
But I suppose it's important to be prepared, isn't it?
I think one of the Awakening battles takes place in a graveyard as well. But yeah, I remember mainly the Echoes one because like 60 avoid graves. I'm pretty sure at least there's 60 avoid.
Precisely. Please, Mercedes, help me prepare.
Of course. I'm happy to share another spooky story next time.
I like the way he pronounces her name, by the way. Okay, so there's that one. That was pretty much what I expected. Gilbert and Ash. And yeah, that's the one I've already failed. Gilbert and Dedu would be interesting as well.
Excellent. Well done, Ash. Continue such work, and you will certainly make a name for yourself.
His strength's been lagging behind a lot lately.
You think so? Thank you, Gilbert. You really are amazing, you know. Your skills with the lance and bow are just incredible.
One learns the craft of knighthood well after 40 years of
Wait,
service.
Gilbert is skilled with bows? I'm gonna need to check his roster just to see if that's true.
Wow, 40 years. That's incredible. With that many years of training, I'd be really strong, wouldn't I?
Further training and service will only make you stronger. Yet, why spend your life this way? Knighthood is not glamorous. On long campaigns, you sleep rough in all manner of weather, and may eat gruel more often than venison. It seems odd that you would admire me, or that you would long to be a knight. Are you sure of yourself?
But of course, it's been my dream for a long time now. I really can't help but admire you. Your years of knighthood are so impressive.
I do not deserve your praise. I merely performed my duties to the best of my skill.
Don't be modest, you're a great knight.
Yes, literally now, thanks to my certification exams.
If there's any more you can teach me, I would be very happy to learn.
Tell me this. Once you don the armor, raise your shield, and level your lance, why? What is it you wish to protect?
Protect? Well, whatever needs protecting, right?
You must know exactly what you protect before you become a knight.
Hint, Ingrid.
I understand. I'll take that to heart. What is it that you want to protect, if I may ask?
My duty has always been to protect my lord. That is a given for any knight. But for myself, doubly so.
What about your family?
Then there are the personal reasons. Each knight has their own. Yet mine I do not speak of.
Well, you've spoken of it to Annette quite a lot lately.
Oh. How come?
Because it is personal. Mine. It allows me to focus on the work and grants me discipline. That is sufficient.
Discipline, huh? Something to protect. I'll have to think of something.
Maybe you could look to Asbel for inspiration.
Protect.
Actually, oh no, Asbel has brown hair. But I guess they look sort of similar. Alright, yeah, Ingrid and Felix. Yeah, that's one that I'm gonna need to save before I do. So beforehand, I will do this one.
Up this late practicing with your lance, are you?
And what about you? Have you got something on your mind again?
It just hit me that that line could be interpreted very, very, very wrongly by certain perverted people. But anyway.
You really should go to bed. It is chilly out, and you could catch cold. What's the matter? Have you been having nightmares?
Well, in a certain sense, yes. Can you spare a moment?
Of course.
Thank you. I want to apologize to you. When last we spoke, I mishandled the situation.
Your words that night touched me deeply. It felt as though I had been punched in the gut.
At a time when he really needed that, so yeah, good job.
But more importantly, I think I owe you an apology. I lied to you.
You did?
Do you recall when I ate that meal you cooked and I told you it was delicious? The truth is that no matter what I eat, I can scarcely taste it. I have not had my sense of taste for 9 years now.
Oh, okay, that must be since Dusker.
My cooking certainly is not something people often compliment me on.
I am sorry. When I said the food was good, I was just saying what I thought you would want to hear.
An apology is not necessary. You were only trying to be kind, after all.
In the end, I am not sure it was kind.
Just the same, it was nice to hear. Oh, hey! I have an idea. What if you sampled some really pungent food? Or something extremely spicy? Maybe that would...
Flame.
Yes?
I like your cooking. I cannot taste it properly, but in my book, it is truly delicious.
No need for the flattery. Anyhow, maybe someday you will get your taste back. I hope then you will be able to compliment me sincerely about my cooking.
And I also hope that if you propose to me, you don't make the proposal all about pies. And with that, now I need to save. Because obviously I want to show this on camera, but I want to reset because Ash.
Why are you taking over my cleaning responsibilities?
You're wounded, and you're going too slowly. I couldn't stand to watch.
You're still fretting over me, are you? I'm fine now, really. It wasn't even serious.
I could have handled the situation alone. That enemy wasn't much of a threat.
They were on completely opposite sides of that last map. I don't really see how that situation happened.
Yes, we all know you could have. But I also didn't want to risk something unforeseen befalling you. I've been doing some thinking. I feel a bit lost. I don't know that I'm cut out to be a knight after all.
Because of your low strength stat?
Without fulfilling that dream, without being a knight, I've been asking myself where my place is in the world. And I think I found my answer. I don't want to lose anyone anymore. So I want to protect those I hold dear.
That's why you were protecting me, huh? What a fool you are.
Foolish to act in line with what I value most? Were I to die, I would die knowing I followed my heart, my truest calling.
Don't say that, because that's exactly what people tell him that Glenn did all the time.
I've been reading through more of that book I was telling you about. Recall the hypothetical question it posed? Do you carry out the orders, or protect your hometown?
Oh right, that one.
You've been reading that garbage again?
The book never specified that one should prioritize the commander's orders. Instead, it suggested that one should follow their heart in the matter. That's what a knight, that's what anyone being true to themselves should do.
That's just the editor's opinion.
Of course. And I find value in that opinion. Glenn died following his heart, not heeding the commands of the country or even the royal family. His death pains me to this day. It was a tragedy. But had he survived, I think he would have suffered. I will follow his example. No matter the outcome, no matter the circumstance, I believe in myself.
You know nothing.
And cue Game of Thrones jokes.
What is it that you know then? What is it you fight for, Felix?
My own beliefs.
I see no difference from my own stance.
You don't understand.
You fight to be stronger than everyone, that you might protect those you care for, correct?
Okay, fine. You do understand. My point is, don't let this happen again. If you died, I'd be annoyed.
And tsundere.
To avoid annoyance, then, I suggest you continue to grow stronger. If that happens, I might allow you to protect me too.
You're insufferable.
Okay, so yeah, we get to see more of his inner tsundere. And for that, I actually have to save over my previous file to unlock that in the support library, but now I'm going to reload the file. And now I'm going to have support ... on Felix and Ingrid for the rest of the game, but I guess it will be worth it. Yeah, let's just go ahead and explore. Don't really see much reason to stay here. Oh, there's somebody in their room close by. Oh, I believe that's actually Dedu's room. But none of those are worth anything because I've already maxed out Professor level.
Anyway,
Oh, Ash.
the very same night we liberated the capital, a messenger arrived from Deirdre. Claude must have predicted that we'd retake it.
Yeah, he's pretty smart.
Claude's a hard person to read. It's obvious not much escapes his eye, though. Kind of unsettling, honestly.
Claude's wisdom is ridiculously high and he just always passes insight checks on people.
Claude, eh? He always was sharp among his peers. Never let himself get caught up in conventions. He wasn't typical in Fodlan. I'd like to save him if we can. You may be right.
Okay.
A hungry hero is no better than a well-fed soldier. Do you know that saying? No? That's because I just made it up. If you're hungry, you're never going to be at full strength. Keep your belly full and stay strong.
Also, are these cats like legendary heroes in the monastery now and you're feeding them? I don't know why all these cats are in here now. It's feeding the cats day.
Right.
Oh hi, it's the two characters I've prevented from getting an A support for ages.
Deirdre, huh? I've always wanted to go there.
Oh, that's the seaside place, isn't it? That one night was like, oh yeah, if I'm gonna die, I want to die then.
In Faerghus, most of the towns are pretty much glorified fortresses. So, to hear about a place called the Aquatic Capital, it just sounds so elegant. When the war's over, I hope I can visit with everyone there.
Yes, you'll come there for Byleth and Hilda's wedding. Anyway, I'm really hoping that it reused the map from Aloise's paralog.
I went to visit my adoptive father at his home in the capital. He used to grovel at Cornelia's feet when the city was under her control. But after it was liberated, he started courting the kingdom instead. I suppose he was just doing what he needed to survive. No matter what becomes of the world, it'll always be plagued by people like him.
Yeah, well, yep, he does not sound like a particularly nice person. In fact, he reminds me a lot of Lang from, Fire Emblem 3, except Lang was way worse. For reasons that I probably don't want to go into in this video because they're kind of disturbing.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Deirdre is known as the Aquatic Capital. It's a beautiful town with streets that seem to float on the water and an impressive harbor.
So, Venice?
In times of peace, it would be a wonderful place for a holiday. Anyway, best of luck in the next battle.
Why do I get the feeling Heroes is gonna one day do a summer, paralog there?
That reminds me, we took Ferdiad back, but I never found the time to go shopping there. When the war's over and the city is revitalized, I'd like to visit again. Will you come with me, Professor?
Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes.
Really? Oh, I'm so glad. Although, I suppose we have bigger things on our plate,
Like that guy in the cape who's pushing the knight there?
Claude. He's in big trouble. I bet my family is too. We have to help them, Professor. I know we can't lose.
Well, by cat, although he walked straight through the cat. Okay, that was pretty good. Are they gonna get stuck? Oh no, the knight's walking around. NPCs, always the most distracting things in this game.
Professor. It'll take a little while yet for the capital to be restored to its former glory, but it's not dead yet. Doesn't matter how many times you put the people of Ferdiad down. They'll get right back up again. Just you watch. Before long, things will be back to how they were.
Yes, especially now the stores are no longer forced to sell Cornelia merchandise.
What do you think?
The Alliance leader is too demanding, and the prince is too soft-hearted. Don't you think? We spilled much of each other's blood at Gronder. I lost a lot of friends to the Alliance.
Really? The Alliance did not attack us at all!
Sorry, I shouldn't complain. I know this is tactically sound. Everyone
You did-
seems on board with it, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't have any misgivings.
We did not lose anyone to the Alliance!
If you travel east from the Alliance and cross Fodlan's throat, you enter the land of Almyra.
Yeah, we've been there before.
House Goneril's territory touches the eastern border of the Alliance. They also have Lord Holst, the most valiant warrior in the Alliance.
And Violet's future brother-in-law.
Tasked with keeping watch over the Almyrans' movements, he rarely leaves Goneril territory.
Well, hopefully there'll be peace there eventually, because Cyril's probably gonna go back there someday.
Didn't they used to call Claude the Master Tactician?
No, never heard of that.
I want a nickname too.
I'm sure you'll get one in the epilogue. You'll just have to wait. I have no idea how many chapters now.
Maybe I'll get one if I can rescue him at Deirdre.
Caspar, the Upside Down Man Rescuer.
I'll come up with a plan that's even better than his and earn a nickname for sure.
I'm sorry, but I feel like the chances of Caspar coming up with any better plans than Claude are very low unless he rolls like a double natural 20 intelligence check with advantage or something. Because at this point, I think the majority of Caspar's plans boil down to go up to enemy, punch them a lot, the end. Is that guy? Oh, he's petting the dog. Is that a girl or no? I think it's a male. I don't know.
Deirdre, the aquatic capital. I've heard it's a magnificent city, you know?
Unfortunately, every single woman there hates me because I went there and, did stuff, let's just say.
If we're going, I wish it wasn't to wage war. It'd be more fun to visit with a cute girl on my arm. You're right. That's something to look forward to.
With Mercedes.
Let's see. It was over 20 years ago. There was an illness raging across Ferdiad. Our people were dying left and right. It was Cornelia who saved the kingdom from that dreadful illness. No, I hear she was originally an imperial scholar. She was in the kingdom by my father's invitation. People praised Cornelia as a saint for ending the epidemic, but there came a day when she completely changed. Her behavior, mannerisms, likes, dislikes, everything. Despite all that, Father still appointed her to a high post. After all, she had saved the kingdom from ruin by that disease. But above all, my stepmother trusted her. That's why what that woman said is... Never mind.
Yeah, at this point, Barlet doesn't actually know that people are starting to suspect Dimitri's stepmother. So... yeah, like, my joke headcanon is that one day, Cornelia looked through an Outrealm gate and saw the world of heroes and thought that she could one day get swimsuit alt and be a popular waifu, and she went insane and would do anything to achieve that ambition.
Has passed on.
But, in-universe, maybe it's like what Sedith was theorizing about Tomas earlier, that, like, there really was, like, that she used to be literally a different person, and then those who stood in the dark killed her and replaced her with one of their own.
Margrave Gautier has assumed his position, and is now gathering the lords of the Eastern Territories. House Gautier is equal in prestige to House Fraldarius. Sylvain is a Gautier.
Yeah, well that's obvious.
These lords are reorganizing the Faerghus army, and eradicating any remaining factions that claim allegiance to the Empire.
They are also eradicating any remaining prototype Figmas or Cornelia.
Of course, His Highness is being kept apprised with regular reports, but it falls to me to monitor him, and ensure he does not try to take on too much.
And ensure that he does not go
I would
crazy
ask
again.
You to do the same. If you take your eyes off that man, even for a moment, he is liable to do something rash.
He is definitely kind of like, it's funny, like, he's a Hector-type lord who initially presents himself as a Marth type, which is kind of unique for the series. I don't think they've really done that before.
I was getting excited for our big Empire showdown. I spent so much time mentally preparing.
I listened to ghost stories constantly.
Then we shifted focus to Deirdre. I hadn't been expecting that, but As a knight who's sworn to serve the goddess, I cannot turn a blind ear to those who seek my aid.
Ear, not eye.
We're still searching for Lady Rhea. No news on that, I'm afraid. Lord Arundel, the Emperor's uncle, is the regent of the Empire. If we crush them at Deirdre, maybe we'll capture him and wring some clues out of him.
Oh, I don't know it will be that easy. Okay, that'll bring Byleth up to an A in swords.
This experience is critical.
Hang on a minute, Windsweep? Is that like the hero skill? Ability... No, not abilities. It would be... Wow, Byleth has a lot of abilities now. It would be under combat arts, wouldn't it? Windsweep. Enemy cannot counter. Yes, it is actually like the hero skill. Okay, I'm going to... Wow, I've had Wrath Strike since the very beginning of the game. I don't think I've actually changed up Byleth's skills very much. Bane of Monsters, maybe, over Grounder?
I heard that Deirdre is under attack. I hope Judith is alright. She may be the hero of Daphne, but facing the might of the Empire? I wish there was something more I could do. But I can only pray and hope.
Wait, Daphne? Judith? Who are they? Daphne is... Oh, what's Daphne? I know it was someone's last name. I guess someone from the Alliance I didn't end up recruiting. Alright, and checking this. Yep, Ian Bowes, so Ash was kind of lying.
Pardon me.
Incredible. Dimitri is going to Claude's aid. How great is that? It's like we've gone back to how things were 5 years ago. It's so nice.
And hopefully things don't end in horrible tragedy.
Just imagine if 80 was there too.
If she was, she'd be trying to kill both of them.
I suppose you can't ever really go back to the way things were in the past.
This one?
May as well increase reason.
You're all set. See you again soon.
Oh, Felix is up on the 3rd floor balcony. The Edgelord surveys his domain and notices that it is too bright and happy for his liking.
My uncle gave me some of my father's belongings, weapons, books, but there was something else that my old man really wanted to pass down. He wanted me to inherit his mission, ensuring that Dimitri ascends the throne, or so I believe.
Wondering what the Eastern Church does. Yeah, we've never really seen the Eastern Church doing all that much.
What do you think? Remember the Death Knight who stabbed me 5 years ago? Of course you do. How could you forget? Well, it turns out he's a general in the Imperial Army, claiming victories on dozens of battlefields.
And he's also Mercedes' brother.
But it looks like he's not at Deirdre. Like every man in my life, he's run away from me. And he better run. One day I'm gonna find that guy and pay him back for what he did to me.
Manuela's stats have not been great lately. I'm gonna need to really work on her if she's gonna actually fight him later. It'd be kind of interesting though. I'm pretty sure he'd have special boss dialogue.
With the capital recaptured, I desire to call him Your Majesty rather than Your Highness. He would refuse my desire, rightfully pointing out that he has not as yet been crowned. However, the day this war is ended, and the Church has placed the crown upon his head, then he will truly be our king, and I will call him Your Majesty at last. I must go hear the reports from our spies. There is something worrying me, and... No, it can wait. I shall tell you more when our information is more concrete.
I am very, very happy to call Dimitri my new king, but I also have to hear reports from spies who are telling me of ominous plottings.
I thought there was a chance that Cornelia had captured Lady Rhea, but it seems that is not the case.
Why does everyone think Lady Rhea would be captured so easily? She can turn into a giant dragon!
Our next foe, Lord Arundel, was once a pious adherent to the Seros Creed.
Okay.
His contributions to the church stopped quite abruptly some time ago. I think it is likely the man knows something.
Yeah, he's probably more important than everyone thinks he is right now.
You plan to aid Claude, do you not? Huh. I think that is absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, apparently your pair ending with Claude is
Being
hilarious.
opposing forces at the Battle of Gronder was ill-fated. It hurt to side against him. I am happy that things have taken a brighter turn now.
It is really weird. Like, I honestly feel that the Blue Lions version of the Grand Field battle, doesn't really make a lot of sense. I don't see why you have to fight Claude. Like, you're both enemies of the Empire, and his forces don't directly come after you, at least not on normal mode.
Cornelia Arnhem. That's a familiar name, yes. She once studied in the Empire.
Yeah, she took that waifuology course, and I personally wanted to stay away from that topic.
My understanding is, shortly after I left the Empire, she did as well. Unlike myself, Cornelia traveled to the kingdom. Apparently, she halted a plague, and was rewarded with a quite powerful appointment. That such an outstanding researcher should fall to such depravity. Sickening, Professor, and quite sad.
Thankfully, we put a stop to that depravity before it could enter the realm of heroes.
Even if we do enter Alliance territory, we're not gonna find Lady Rhea there. I wish we could leave Claude be and go attack the Empire.
Really?
I suppose if we can't beat the Empire forces here, then we can't get into the Empire lands, can we? I guess that just means it's hard work time, huh, Professor?
And, well, that's one thing you're really good at. Also, you know, it's good to have more allies for the upcoming fight, unless Claude ends up dying tragically in this chapter, as might be the case.
So House Regan has regained its influence in the Alliance, and is gathering forces. Claude always was somewhat inscrutable. It's strange somehow to hear talk of his brilliance as the leader of the Alliance.
Oh, there's someone outside I can talk to.
Using the Great Bridge of Myrddin as a base, we'll spread out and cover as much ground as possible in our search for her grace. Judging by the information we've gathered, the most suspicious location is definitely the Imperial capital, the Hrim territory, whose leader is a mere puppet, and the Ire territory, whose leader was deposed and disappeared.
Yeah, why was Ferdinand even fighting us if his father was deposed?
The Empire has a lot of places with suspicious happenings. It's certainly worth investigating, but it won't do to take too much time in relieving the Alliance army. Please, hurry.
Yeah, obviously it would be easier to investigate those Empire locations if we weren't currently at war with them.
Traveling to the Empire, to the Kingdom, and then off to Alliance territory, everyone certainly is busy. Perhaps it's not a bad thing now that I think about it. Peace will be lovely. Peace will, one assumes, be considerably less perilous.
I think and this is unfortunately a bit of a semi-spoiler, but I think I have actually learned that if I had not recruited Linhardt on this route, he would have unavoidably died. So, yeah, kinda glad that I did. Advanced Brawling Tournament, huh? Oh, that would be hilarious, but I don't think it would work too well. I really want to enter Hilda, but Caspar... Do they have entered Alois in one of these? Although Catherine could be useful too. Alois is pretty slow. Okay. I'm not hitting very hard. Maybe I made the wrong choice. Or maybe I made the right one. This, however, could be a lot worse. Really? Well, okay, good. If I got any unluckier there, I would have actually failed this. Also, I just realized that training gauntlets are wooden nunchucks. I never noticed that before, and that's pretty hilarious.
I'll never back down.
Okay, a generic War Master. I've never seen one of those before. Yeah, they definitely look Roman-inspired. Oh, wait, I'm gonna fail this, aren't I? Even if I don't, like, die. Oh, yeah, wow, Catherine! That was a lot of 80 misses. Oh well. White Verona, not actual Verona. How long is it going to take? I mean, the side quest probably expired by now. Oh no, it's still there. Gather the requested resources. Okay, so Dimitri can actually have notes now. And yeah, it seems like his eye is really gone. Apparently he doesn't have the eye patch on Edelgard's route, and that's kind of confusing to me.
Am I doing all right?
It's hard to sneak out.
I guess while I'm just jumping around and spending my last activity points, not bonding points, I finally caught myself there. Yeah, I suppose while I'm doing this, I could just mention that apparently, like, at this point on the other routes, on, I think, all the other routes, Dimitri is dead now. Like, again, like, I'm okay with, I said I'd be okay with, you know, saying what happens on other routes at this point, but it's kind of sad that Dimitri dies even on Claude's route. I was kind of hoping Claude's route would be the you get to make friends with everyone route, but doesn't seem like it's the case. And apparently he dies off-screen too, after the Battle of the Eagle and Lion. So, if he dies on every route besides his own, I'm kind of worried that Claude is going to die at some point here. At least, right now, I can feel semi-confident in the fact that we probably won't be the ones to personally kill him, although, right now, the only way I see that happening is if Claude gets brainwashed by the Nightcrawlers or something. And again, I'm calling them that because that's just so much easier to say than their actual name. Did I get any supports out of... Yeah, quite a few, actually. Oh, okay, that one's a fail, but Gilbert and Dedu is fine. And Ingrid and Seteth B. And Manuela and Flame B. You might as well get through these ones now.
Hello, Manuela. I was just wondering, what was it like back when you were involved with that opera troupe? Your life must have been quite different from how it is here, I imagine.
My, how bold to ask an adult about their private life.
Yeah, if I'm remembering right, last time Flame revealed she didn't even know what opera was.
I'll humor you, though. A diva's life is only glamorous while she's on stage. The rest of her time is consumed by grueling training.
Well, yeah, that's right if you're playing Tokyo Mirage Sessions, but you spend that training fighting weird monsters.
Just days and days of practicing, beginning at sunrise, with barely a moment to rest from one performance to the next. Then, once the performances begin, you're on stage for 3 shows a day. Absolutely exhausting. Is that anything like you imagined?
It sounds like a world all its own. Thank you. I find the topic fascinating.
Well, it kind of is. Like, Tokyo Mirage Sessions is the diva realm. You should maybe go there and see what it's like.
What sort of roles did you tend to be cast in? As the lead performer, did you play the part of a princess much? Oh, I can only imagine how illustrious that would be.
Yes, I was a princess once or twice. And it was quite something, let me tell you. All those royal jewels and flowing gowns.
But then I was stuck as one of the title roles of the murder of Prince Gonzago and his enormous bosomed wife.
And they didn't just give me the pretty clothes to wear because I was beautiful, you know. I had to fight and claw my way into every role. But once I was there on stage, singing my solo, and all eyes were on me, it was worth it. I was rewarded for every one of my countless hours of practice. And the cheers when I finished a song, the applause. Oh, I can't properly explain it, but I can tell you, it's an experience I will cherish until the day I die.
Wondrous. It all sounds so very glamorous.
And you're kind of involved in that world right now because you're a dancer.
Despite how rigorous a schedule you kept, it sounds like the hard work was worth those fleeting moments on stage. Mine has always been a quiet life. It is hard not to feel a twinge of envy, hearing such stories from you.
There's a lot to be said for the quiet life. It was never for me, of course. Still, I hear it's a pretty good deal for a lot of other folks. The thing is, Flame, well, you always have to remind yourself that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, its shadows will be darker too.
What do you mean?
Oh, nothing. It's a thing I hope you never come to understand. You know what? The next time you visit, I'll tell you all about the time I played a beautiful princess, and about the handsome prince she fell in love with.
What I'm not telling her is, it's a play that I'm writing right now, and it's called You and Dimitri.
Oh, please. I would love to hear all about it.
So I'm wondering, are there operas about Saint Cethleline? Because maybe one day Flame can end up playing herself in an opera.
Ingrid, are you familiar with the story of the King of Liberation and the 10 elites of Fodlan?
Of course. They were the heroes who struck down evil with the power of the sacred weapons, protecting our land and people.
I get the feeling there was more to this story because the heroes' relics have, like, combat arts that sound kind of evil and they turn you into monsters.
Their strength was passed down through the ages, manifesting itself in the crest some of us are born with.
Unless, like, the evil, quote-unquote, they were fighting was actually their own members as they slowly turn into monsters one by one.
Yes, the 10 elites certainly possessed great power. But does that make them worthy of worship?
I imagine you ask because they later fought amongst themselves, turning on one another, ravaging the land.
Maybe as monsters?
Precisely. Initially, Nemesis and the 10 elites worked together to bring peace to Fodlan. But soon their ambitions got the best of them, and they clashed, using their sacred weapons on anyone they chose, strong and weak alike. What I mean to say is, possessing strength alone does not make one worthy of respect.
Ingrid deals with Felix on a daily basis, she knows that.
Rather, one should be judged by how they choose to use that strength.
Yes, I agree.
If you follow that logic, then you will see it also applies to those who are born with crests. Now think of how your father wishes to wed you to another family's fortune on the basis of your crest.
Yeah, she thinks about that a lot. Stop reminding her.
Yes? What of it?
These are purely inherited qualities. Is it not foolish to judge a person's value by some inherited fortune? That is all a crest is, really.
That's what I think too. Having a crest or not has no bearing on your worth as a person.
I understand that Count Galatea believes he has the right to manage your affairs. I am certain he has his own share of problems. And I do not wish to meddle or lay blame, but if there is anything I should like to say to his daughter, it is this: how you live your life is up to you.
Thank you for your counsel and wisdom, Sedith. I've been thinking a lot lately about what might happen after the war. I will take some time to reflect on what lies ahead. My future.
Yeah, that one is pretty nice too. I think this is the last one we have left.
Ah, hello. Dudu, yes?
Finished praying?
I am, yes. You have grown much since I saw you last. You're a man now.
You barely know me.
True. I suppose we did only meet a handful of times.
As haggard as you look now, you were even worse when I last saw you in the capital.
Haggard, eh? True enough.
Still weighed down by the same regret, I see.
I was unable to protect the king. That is the ultimate failure. One I must atone for.
And Dudu did protect the king and got to live out of the deal.
If you have the spare time to beg forgiveness, then pick up a lance and train.
That would do nothing to atone for the dead.
Your prayers are mere self-indulgence.
You do not understand.
No, I do not. Faerghus needed you. His Highness needed you.
There was no other choice but for me to leave. What would you have done if you were in my place? If His Highness had died due to your failures?
If he commanded me to live, then I would live. Otherwise, I would die with him. I have nothing left to lose other than His Highness. Home, family, all but that man I have already lost.
What about everyone here?
You were a knight in service to the king for decades. Not only did you excel in bravery, wisdom, and tactics, but in matters of character, you were an ideal knight. Utterly above reproach. That is what His Highness has always said. I have only come this far by modeling my conduct after his stories of you. But now,
Forget those words spoken by His Highness. I am no different a man than I was before, beaten down by sin, alone and weak. I am lost and irredeemable.
That's not how you act in some of your other supports. Oh, okay, just straight up end support there, okay. So yeah, I think that's everything. And yeah, I think I've done all I can here. I'll just quickly speed through this week's instruction, and then next time we'll be doing the paralog. So, next time it'll be time for the glitchy paralog. See you all then.